Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today in gaming, Warzone Season 6 has arrived. Xbox Series X backwards compatibility offers a huge performance boost, benchmarks for AMD's next-gen CPUs leaked, and more. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Season 6 has arrived. It adds a subway system to Warzone, 2 new operators, 2 new weapons, new multiplayer maps, and makes some highly requested balance tweaks. The Origin 12 shotgun has finally been nerfed in Warzone. Its extreme close quarters damage was reduced to cut down on those instant 2-tap deaths. In the past few weeks, the Origin 12 has dominated the game's close range meta. It's good to see a nerf as things were really getting out of hand. C4 also got a bit of a nerf. There's now a slight delay when performing a quick detonation. A beep will play when doing this, letting you know to expect different behavior. On top of that, the initial throw velocity of C4 has been reduced by 30%. This prevents players from throwing C4 almost as far as regular grenades, but still gives you some decent range to work with. The 2 new weapons are both pretty unique. The SP3-208 is a bolt-action marksman rifle that offers flexibility in both its loadout and utility. Think of it as a hybrid between the Kar98 and a proper bolt-action rifle. Now, the AS-Val is a familiar sight for Battlefield players. In Modern Warfare, it comes equipped with its iconic integrated suppressor. It offers a high rate of fire and frees up an attachment slot for people that generally run suppressors. As for Warzone updates, the subway system is a high-risk, high-reward way of getting around the map. Getting into a fight will halt the train, but if you can finish teams off quickly, it's a great way of getting around. A new kill streak has been added called Foresight that shows the location of every circle in a match. It seems like the only place this kill streak can be found is in Warzone's bunkers. However, I wouldn't expect everyone to be using it. The update also adds armored trucks with roof-mounted turrets. There's a new Armored Royale mode that uses these trucks as a mobile respawn station. If you lose your truck, you're out of the fight when you die. On PC, players with NVIDIA GPUs can enable NVIDIA Reflex in-game to improve system latency. This feature works by preventing the game from hogging GPU resources, which generally adds input delay. You might see a mild dip in FPS, but the trade-off will be a much more fluid experience. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Season 6 is getting off to a very stable start. Players on all platforms are reporting frequent crashes. PC players suspect it might be a software issue of some kind, but as more reports from other platforms come in, it's becoming clear something is up with the game itself. On October 20th, the mid-season update will launch, adding a night mode to Warzone, new weapons, modes, and more. The night mode is called Haunting of Verdansk, and on top of being a holiday event, it'll likely tie into Cold War zombie mode. The PlayStation 4 exclusive mode Spec Ops Survival is finally coming to PC and Xbox One. PlayStation 4 players have enjoyed the mode since launch, but it's been exclusive to their platform the entire time. And while Spec Ops mode hasn't exactly gripped the community, it's still nice to see formerly exclusive content being made available to all players finally. According to Digital Foundry, Xbox Series X backward compatibility offers a massive boost in performance for Xbox One games. In their testing, most, if not all, Xbox One titles ran at a locked 60 FPS at 4K. Of course, some titles are still problematic or have fixed FPS caps, but the overall impression is still very positive. Microsoft have put a ton of resources and effort into their backward compatibility solution, which has brought many old games back to life like the original Red Dead Redemption, Splinter Cell, Battlefield, and more. The results do vary from game to game, and demanding scenes can still drop performance into the 50 FPS range, but the raw power upgrade the Series X offers is clearly capable of boosting performance by sheer brute force. The same might not apply to the Series S. While you'll likely see similar performance, resolution will be limited to below 4K. That's not too much of a trade-off all things considered, but it's still worth keeping in mind. AMD's next-gen CPUs are allegedly skipping 4000 and going straight to the 5000 series. Their current gen CPUs are Ryzen 3000, and while they initially handed Intel their lunch in most workloads, Intel's latest CPUs have reclaimed their dominance as the top hardware for gaming. But it seems like that lead may not last long. According to leaked benchmarks, the Ryzen 7 5800X will dominate the Intel Core i9-10900 2900K at 4K resolution. It's an 8-core 16-thread CPU that offers 12 to 22% performance improvements over Intel's flagship. It's also not AMD's biggest or baddest CPU. That will be the Ryzen 9 5900X. With 12 cores and 24 threads clocking in as high as 5 GHz, it'll likely offer a massive performance improvement, at least in multi-threaded workloads. That's where Ryzen CPUs typically pull ahead, but the 5 GHz clock speed should also give it a significant advantage in games that rely on CPU speed versus cores. Space Sim Elite Dangerous has offered planetary landings as a paid expansion since 2015. For 5 long years, if you wanted to land on moons and planets, you had to cough up an extra $30 on top of the base game's $30 price tag. Don't get me wrong, for $60 you're still getting an incredible space sim experience, but the game's developers are finally integrating Horizons into the base game. Starting on October 27th, all owners of the base game will get Horizons for free. This is likely being done in anticipation of the game's next expansion, Odyssey. The update launches next year and adds space legs to the game, letting players walk around their ships, planets, and moons. EA's subscription service, EA Play, is coming to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on November 10th. That's the launch date for Microsoft's next-gen consoles, and it's likely going to be a huge selling point considering the hype surrounding Game Pass. It offers over 100 full games to play from AAA titles and indie studios, while also bundling in a bunch of features like xCloud and third-party services. Last week, we reported on a major issue with NVIDIA's new GPUs, the RTX 3080 and 3090. Select versions of these GPUs from NVIDIA's partners exhibited stability issues when pushed beyond 2 GHz clock speeds. This issue was believed to be in part due to a poor choice of hardware components some partners utilized on their cards. But it seems like NVIDIA's latest driver update has resolved the issue. NVIDIA's partners are also working to update their cards with better components. Many, like Asus, made the upgrade before their cards even went out to retail customers. In our final story today, PUBG Season 9 is going to offer a new ranked mode for the first time ever. Ranked solos will be one of the season's premier features. There's still no word about when Season 9 is launching, but ranked mode was a recent addition to the game that has given competitive players something to work towards. Unfortunately, it's only ever been available in squad modes. Season 9 will offer ranked to solos in both third and first-person lobbies. And that wraps it up for today in gaming. As always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Let me know what you thought about the stories in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap signing off.